Namaste, everyone, and welcome. Today we continue with gratitude to God. Before we start, let's ask for divine blessing. To the Divine Supreme One, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints, to all the holy archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, personally to my beloved and respected teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguji Mailing, we humbly invoke for divine light, divine love, guidance, help. We humbly invoke for divine oneness and divine realization. We thank you for all these blessings in full faith. So be it. All right, so let's start off with a story. You've heard different versions of this. And basically a child asked his father, where is God? And the father, this is an Indian story, had him take a small basin, put salt, and left it there. And the next morning, had the son put his finger on one part of the basin, tasted it. Another part of the water with the basin, tasted it. In other words, had him go all over the entire body of water in the basin and keep tasting. And the father said, so, what did you taste? Oh, it's salty here, 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 here. Where's the salt? Father, it's everywhere. And that's basically where God is, everywhere. All right? So there's this book we call The Existence of God is Self-Evident. A lot of you have it already. The ones who haven't, I highly recommend it. And, well, let me give you a little background. Many years ago, in a retreat in India, I think it was the first convention. After the first convention, there was a Arhatic Yoga retreat. And we're in a room, I remember 300-something people, okay? And Master Cho was up there talking, and then out of nowhere, literally, he said, you know, I used to be an atheist. Now imagine you're in India, probably 90% of the students were Indian, very devotional, very loving people, and have a guru that they esteem, you know, and respect a lot, says, I used to be an atheist. You could hear a pin drop. And we're looking at each other like, what did he just say? Did he just say what I thought he said? And then he said something like this. He said, you see, religion was being shoved down my throat. So I became atheist and I had to find God through experience. Now, that as a background, let me read to you what he says in this book. The Supreme God is the all-pervasive energy with consciousness. This all-pervasive energy is very subtle and almost imperceptible. It is super steady, at the same time all-powerful. It does not have form. This Supreme Being or Universal Pervasive Intelligent Energy is what we call the Supreme God who is formless. This is how Master Chokok Sui, or MCKS, the way he wrote it, experiences the Supreme God. I want to call your attention to this because sometimes a lot of us being brought up in different religions have a tendency to say, oh, I have the last say on who God is and what God is. And the way Master Cho explained it, I think, is the way we all perceive God. The Creator interpenetrates the creation. So, I think a lot of us, as we go through difficult times in our lives, when everything that is tangible that we have could not help us, what do? We look for things that are intangible. In other words, when everything that you put your faith in the things you touch, you feel, you see in the physical world, can't help you, what do? We're forced to retreat inside, go to something that is formless or spiritual. Now, so the way Master Cho explained it to us, at least this is the way I love hearing it, when he was saying it's like, we don't believe in religions. We believe in spirituality. So, whatever your religion is, when you come to Pranikin or Arhatic Yoga, it doesn't matter. In other words, if you want to do good, you want to help people, you want to improve humanity, that's all we care about. Because spirituality is what binds us together. Now, you say, what's it got to do with being grateful? It's something like this. since we deal with energy in pranic healing, maybe this will help you. See, realization is a very powerful thing. Realization, okay? So I want you to put your finger like this. Put your finger like this. Now, try to take your hand from this far. Okay, let me see. Look at the camera here. Let's switch hands. Okay, this is the finger. Take your hand from afar and slowly come in and try to feel the aura of the finger. Now, if you like, to help some of you who are new, rub your hands together. I'm going to put it away from the microphone. Press the center of your palms. Okay, this is what we call sensitizing the hands in pranic healing. This to increase the flow of energy, increase the blood flow. And as they say in acupuncture, blood follows chi, chi follows blood. Something like that. I think they're cousins. Anyway, who cares? All right. So put your hand like this. Try to feel the energy in between your hands. We call this sensitizing our hands. So just relax. Just move your hand closer, further apart. All right. Good. Now, let's do it again. Put one finger like this. Doesn't matter which finger. Just not the middle one. Be nice. Okay, go like this. Take your hand like this. And just eyes open, eyes closed. Doesn't matter. Slowly come in. See if you can feel a subtle something around the finger. That's basically the energy level or the energy field of your finger that is perceptible by your hand. Okay. Got it? Easy. Now put that scanning hand down. Keep the finger up. Now close your eyes. Just going to ask you a few questions. Okay. Is God everywhere? Most of us say yes. Next, if God is everywhere, is God in every particle of your finger and interpenetrating your finger? Yes? Yes. Since God is everywhere, every part of God is also in my finger. Good enough. Open your eyes. That's it, right? Simple. Put your hand like this. Okay. Start from wherever it is before you started. Slowly come in. Feel it again. Do you notice something? Most of you are sensitive. You notice the energy is stronger. You can feel it further away. Now, the obvious question is, did anything change with God? No. If we're in a dark room, right, with no doors, no windows, and it's daytime outside, no light comes in, right? When you open a window, light comes in. Room slightly brighter. You open more windows, you open all the windows, the room becomes super bright. You close all the windows around again, the room is dark. Simple question. Did anything change with God? In that scenario, did anything change with the sun? No. By you opening and closing the windows, the room got darker or brighter, but nothing changed with the source. That's exactly the point. Your opinion and my opinion of God is basically what allows us to receive this energy or keep that energy away. That realization, like God is everywhere and I'm the only hindrance for it happening, that realization allows us to have this, how do you call it, determination to be as receptive as possible so that divine essence permeate our system. Let me put it another way. If I put a sponge into a bucket of water, initially the water is just outside the sponge, and every microsecond that passes by, that water starts to interpenetrate the sponge. Yes? Now, if I wrap that sponge in a piece of plastic, put that in there, the plastic will prevent the water from going into the sponge. So the sponge is now non-absorbent. Even though water is everywhere, it cannot go in. It's the same thing. The all-pervasive energy that is super intelligent, all-powerful, all-loving is everywhere. We are our own hindrance. But when we have a realization that God is everywhere, it starts to interpenetrate our system. That all-loving, all-powerful essence start to affect our minds, our emotions, our speech, and our every action. That's what you call God or spiritual realization. Of course, if you have different, if you study different traditions, they have different, levels of understanding of what God realization is. But in the very basic essence, that all-pervasive God is everywhere. Now, you say, what's it got to do with being grateful? It's something like this. In spiritual teachings, there is this word called tanya, or thirst. Okay? And that thirst can be interpreted many ways. It can be a thirst for something that is material. You want something, it's a craving, it's a desire. However, every being has a certain spiritual thirst to go back to the source. That's why a lot of people, when they're doing deep meditation and spiritual practice, they have a sense, I've come home. You say, well, physically you have not changed, but emotionally, mentally, deep inside of you, there's a sense of stillness, calmness, and you go, oh, I'm there. Now, in order to experience it, you have to first experience yourself as a spiritual being. Because that spiritual being is the vibration that is closest to being able to experience that super duper high frequency, that all-pervading energy, which we call God. So spiritual practice allows you to be in touch with who you really are, a spiritual being. And that spiritual being, once you get to that frequency in your spiritual practice or meditation, is the closest thing you can to experiencing that all-pervading force, regardless whether you have a religion or not. Okay? So let's take it one step further. That's within us, yes? You notice when we start the meditations, the class, we always say Namaste. Namaste, basically the spiritual essence within me recognizes there's a spiritual essence in you. In other words, this all-pervading force that interpenetrates me is also interpenetrating you. That spiritual divine essence that is filling up every cell of my body and my entire being is also filling up you and every person you meet. So when you say Namaste, you're basically saying the essence of that divine presence in me greets and salutes the divine presence within you. So you say, what's it got to do with anything at all? It's very simple. When you start to realize that divine essence in me is also divine essence, that divine essence is also inside the other person, we have a tendency to treat each other kindly. It's like, Namaste, you are also a child of God. The essence of God is within you. I honor that. Namaste. It's the best greeting you can give anyone. You can say, hey, how are you doing? How's your day? That's good. That's greeting the physical essence of the person. But when you greet the spiritual essence of the other person, you get to experience a closer relationship with them, because that spiritual essence is what binds you together. Now, instead of talking about it, why don't we do a simple meditation? We'll do several of them this time. The first one is the I am affirmation that's taught by Grandmaster Cho. A lot of you know bits and parts of it. We just kind of put it all together. Basically, you're affirming that you're not the body, not the emotion, not the thoughts. You're the soul. You're the spiritual being that's part of God, that came from God. The same material, if you will. So that's the soul. And you also realize this soul has different levels of intelligence and consciousness and frequencies. So this soul is part of a bigger whole called the higher soul. And this higher soul is part of a bigger light called, we'll just say, the divine spark, or the spirit within us. And the spirit is part of this universal force called God. Now, to make it a little simpler, for some of you who are very mental, like me, who's an engineer, imagine you have ice cubes, right? So ice cubes, physical ice cubes, of course they're physical, how could they be energetic, right? Anyway, solid ice cubes, when they melt, what happens? It turns to liquid, like water. And because of the surface tension of water, whatever, from something that is has formed, it becomes more formless. But because of the surface tension, it still has a certain shape, yes? All right. Then from water, it starts to evaporate. When it evaporates, it turns to water vapor. And guess what? From water vapor, it literally dissolves into the atmosphere. So just imagine that atmosphere is God. When we're so focused on our physical bodies, we are like the ice cubes. When we start to partially disassociate during spiritual practice or meditation of the physical sensations we have and go within, calm our emotions, our mind, we start to experience a certain limitless sensation. Like, oh, we're not now limited by the chair we're sitting on or the physical sensation. Oh, I'm sitting here, I'm here, you're there. You start to experience like, oh, how come I can sense something beyond what my physical body is? Like I can sense something here, here, here. It's almost like having a 360-degree vision. At that point, you start to experience a certain part of you that is non-material. So it's just like turning from ice cube, you're turning now to liquid. Then, as you practice more stillness, guess what happens? You start experiencing that, hey, how come I don't feel my body anymore? How come I feel like I'm in outer space? I'm like in several places at the same time. I'm floating, weightless. It feels like I'm in outer space. Or I'm in a space, but in that space, I'm permeating the entire space that I'm sensing. So at that point, it's just like you turn into water vapor and you become part of the water vapor that is permeating, that is filling up the entire atmosphere. You get my point? So, why don't we do it like this? Close your eyes. You ready? Just inhale, exhale slowly. Be aware of your physical body. Just inhale, exhale slowly. Feel your feet, your ankles, your hips, your waist, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your throat, your neck, your head, your physical body. Okay? Repeat after me. This is my physical body. I'm grateful for this physical body. It allows me to move around the physical world, to help people, to experience pleasure, experience pain, be able to move around, get things done. It's a good physical body. I'm grateful for this physical body. But this physical body is not the real I. It's just the instrument or the vehicle that I use. Just be still. I am the Atma. I am the soul, the spiritual self that moves this body. In Italian, the anima, the animating factor. So that's the I, not the body. The body is not the I. But it's a good body and I'm grateful for it because it allows me to function in the physical world. Now just be still. Imagine that your physical body is turning to light from your feet. It's turning into light from physical feet, turning to light, to your ankles turning into light, up, 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 up. Your knees, they're turning to brilliant light, becoming more and more formless. Just brilliant light. All you see below you is light. Your ankles, your knees, your thighs are disappearing and turning into light. Your hips are turning into light. Your torso turning into light. All your internal organs are turning into light. Up, up, up. Your shoulders are turning into light. Your arms are turning into light. Your throat area, your neck is turning into light. Your face is turning into brilliant light. Your crown, your head, your entire body. You're now just basically light radiating in every direction. This is the I. Just be still. Allow your awareness to drift a little higher, higher. Feel your emotions, any emotions you like to feel. Happiness, joy, anger, jealousy, whatever negative emotions, positive emotions you have. All these emotions are now contained in this body called the emotional body. It's like almost like a silhouette of your physical body, but just made of light. It's called the astral light or the astral body. Just repeat with me. This is my astral body, my emotional body. It's a good emotional body. It allows me to feel love for someone, allows me to love my significant others, allows me to love my children, my parents, my friends, allow me to connect with people. It's a great emotional body, good astral body. I'm grateful for this emotional body. Thank you. But this is not the I. It's just an instrument I use to emotionally connect with people. Thank you. Now imagine that emotional body getting brighter and brighter and disappearing. And just becomes a subtle, 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 almost invisible light. Allow your awareness to drift higher and higher. Think of an apple, a car, a house. Thoughts. Thoughts what we have. Think of these thoughts. Anything from good thoughts to bad thoughts we ever had. They're all contained in a vehicle or a container called the mental body. I just say, this is my mental body. It's a good mental body. It allows me, the I, the soul, to process information, to get information to someone, to teach someone, to learn something. This is a good body. It's called the mental body. I thank God for this. It's a great, great instrument. I'm very grateful for the ability to think and learn on the mental realm. I'm grateful for my mental body. But this is not me. This is not the real I. It's just my instrument. Now just imagine, form the intention, this mental body also turning to light and disappearing. What's left is the I. Just be still. Allow your awareness to just drift higher and higher. Higher. I'm not the body, not emotion, not the thoughts. I'm the soul, a spiritual being of pure energy and pure light. That's the real I. I'm grateful for this realization. Just be still. Allow your awareness to just expand and grow and drift higher and higher. I'm connected in one to my higher soul, the Atma in me, the higher spiritual self, a being of pure energy with consciousness. I am the higher soul, the Atma. I am grateful for this realization. Just be still and let go. Allow your awareness to drift even more higher and higher, more expansive. I'm connected in one to Divine Spirit, the Divine Spark in me. I am that I am, the Paramatma, the Divine Spark. Beautiful spark of light. That is the I. Just be still and be aware and let go. Now this divine spark is but a particle in an ocean of brilliant light. I, the divine spark, and part and one with the universal ocean of light. Allow your awareness to just melt into that universal light. This universal light is God. I am one with God, I am one with all, and I'm grateful for this spiritual oneness. I am that I am, one with God, one with all. There's only oneness. To help some of you let go and raise your frequencies even more, to tap and be part of that energy, just listen to the mantra Om Namo Para Brahman Om, meaning I, the spiritual self, salute the universal supreme being or the supreme God. Just be still. Just inhale, exhale slowly, and let go. Om Namo Parabrahman. Om. Be aware of the inner stillness, the inner peace. Allow your awareness to just melt into that stillness now. Om Namo Parabrahman. Om. Om Namo Parabrahman. Om. Be still. Be aware of your divine essence. Be grateful. And let go now. I am one with the infinite ocean of light. So it is. Let go now. Let go. Just let go. Gently, slowly, come back to your body. Gently move your fingers, move your toes. Gently and slowly come back. Slowly open your eyes. How do you feel? Can any of you feel the stillness and the peace? Can any of you feel it's almost like coming home? You okay? Come back. Move your fingers, move your toes. Come back. Okay, raise your hands. We do this always after meditation. Feel the love, the joy, the stillness within you. Bless your family and loved ones with it. Just fill them with light. The people you work with, your family, your loved ones, your friends, everyone, just fill them with light. Just visualize the earth, fill the earth with light. At the same time, be aware of your feet and the base of your spine. Also project light downwards, fill Mother Earth below you. Let every person, every being be divinely blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Blessings be to all. So be it. So be it, and so it is. Let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. We thank you to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. Personally, to my beloved and respected teacher, Master Chokhok Sui Mahaguji Mailing, thank you for your blessings. In full faith, so be it. All right. I hope you had a good meditation and also learned something. And just be grateful that each and every part of us is part of God. And God is in all. So, all right. If you're good, okay. Anyway, same thing as with the other sessions. Please leave your comments. We'd love to hear from you. And thank you very much again for your generous donations to keep this spiritual ministry free for all. So, Atma means I'm greeting the soul. Atma, the Param Atma, the divine self within you. I greet you all. Namaste. With the blessings of my teacher, Mahaguji Mailing, and all the high beings be upon you. Namaste. God's and all the teacher's blessings be upon you. Okay? You take care. See you next time. Bye.